So in the previous class, what we have discussed about the transportation lag. So in transportation lag, we have seen about there are two different types of presentation. So first, what is the transportation lag? So we have seen when we supply some input in some pipe. Let's say this is the pipe which has the cross-sectional area Q A, and the flow rate at this point is, let's say, Q, and the output flow remains same, that is the volumetric flow rate is Q also. The length of this pipe is capital L. So when we supply some input, so you are not supposed to get the output at the same time. So let's say this is the input xt. So after some delay, you will find some response. That response will occur as a yt. Same in similar way we are representing here. There's some input xt. So after some delay, we got some output yt. So this delay is known as the transportation delay, or the transportation lag, or the dead time, or the distance velocity lag. And the formulation of the mathematical formulation of this delay is found with the help of the formula volume of the tube. Volume of the tube means it is a meter cube. However, the volumetric flow rate is nothing but the meter cube per second or meter cube per hour. So ultimately it is the second. So this is the tau. The delay is in the form of the time, or the second, right, or the minute, or the hour. So now this is the volume. Volume you can find by the multiplication of the area with the length. So you can calculate like this, and the volumetric flow rate is Q. So AL by Q, tau is equals to AL by Q. You can find the transportation delay in the pipe in the process industries. Okay. So now, how can it be? What is the transfer function of this transportation delay? You can find with the help of this mathematical formulation. Let's say you are supplying some input xt, and after some time yt minus tau is nothing but this sorry, xt minus tau is nothing but the yt. So there is a delay in the output. Okay. So what is the Laplace transform of this function? So it is nothing but the e to the power minus tau s into x of s. Is it clear? So when you take the transfer function output upon input ys upon xs, okay, so it will give e to the power minus tau s, or e minus tau. E to the power minus tau s, you can write it as a e to the power minus tau s, you can write 1 upon e to the power tau s, or e to the power x when you expand this function. So it is nothing but the 1 upon 1 plus x square upon factorial 2, and x cube upon factorial 3, and so on, right? So like this you have expanded the function e to the power tau s, 1 upon e to the power tau s, or you can say the transfer function of the delayed system. Okay, so when you approximate this function, because the time delay is very very small, okay, when you consider the time delay is very small, then up to the first term you can neglect the higher term of the time delay, and you can approximate this function as e to the power minus tau s is equals to e to the power minus tau s is equal to 1 upon 1 plus tau s. However, if you have asked the question what is the transfer function of the transportation lag, so your answer should be to the power minus tau s, not the 1 upon 1 plus tau s. However, if the approximation may be asked, if the approximate equation may be asked, what is the approximate transfer function of the transportation lag, then if the option is present 1 upon 1 per tau s, then your answer will be the 1 upon 1 per tau s. However, if the option is e to the power minus tau s is given, so you have to choose e to the power minus tau s. Okay. Now the second approximation is done in the term of the first order Pade. And first order Pade is nothing but you can write this equation as e to the power minus tau s. E to the power minus tau s you can write as e to the power minus tau s, you can write e to the minus tau s by 2 into e to the power minus tau s by 2. And when you write it, you can write this equation as e to the power minus tau s by 2 divided by e to the power tau s by 2, right? So take the expansion as the on the first term. So you can write it as a 1 minus tau s by 2 divided by 1 plus tau s by 2. So this approximation is known as first order Pade. First order Pade. However, the same you can find out as the second order Pade, like this one. Okay. So this is the case. Up to the second term we have taken in the second order Pade. Okay. So now we are today we are going to discuss the second order system, and this is just a brush up because we have already studied this term second order system in your BTech courses. Okay, so now as we have discussed the first order system, and we also discussed the pole and zeros of the system. Okay, and we also discussed the stability, what happened when the stability of the system when the pole and zero location have changed. Okay, so you can say that the compared to the simplicity of the first order system, a second order system have the wide range of response. Okay, because it has the different types of the response like over damped system, under damped system, undamped system, critically damped system, right? So the first order system, just we have varying the t and k, the time constant and the the gain constant 1 upon tau s plus 1, that we are changing only the tau and the k. Okay, and we find the speed of that system. However, in the second order system, we have the different types of the responses. You can see the second order system can represent as omega n square upon s into s plus 2 zeta omega n, right? And when you take the feedback, then the transfer function becomes cs upon rs, and cs upon rs becomes this is very famous equation, and you have to learn. Okay, I hope you must aware this equation: omega n square upon s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square, where omega n is can anyone tell me what is omega and what is zeta? Omega,
Natural frequency.
yes, omega n is the undamped natural frequency. Undamped natural frequency, okay, of the second order system. Okay, so what do you mean by undamped natural frequency? Means undamped natural frequency means suppose that you are supplying some sinusoidal signal, then your response must be the sinusoidal response, and there is nothing change in the magnitude as well as the phase. So the frequency, you can say that this is the omega n. Okay, so one question is already asked in the GATE exam, and that question is, I think, 1 upon s plus 1 is the system, okay, transfer function of the system, and sine t is the input. So what will be the output of the system? Can anyone tell me? How can we proceed to find out the solution of the response? What is the yt? Let's say it is the xt is equals to sine t, then what is the yt? Please, how can we proceed? Abhishek?
Sir,
बोलो भैया, आगे बोलो, सर के आगे तो बोलो. बोलो. Anyone? Ria?
नहीं.
Gurparas?
yes sir. सर 1 प्लस एस प्लस 1 एस डोमेन से टी डोमेन लैप्लेस इनवर्स करके निकाल लेंगे.
E to the power minus t.
एस टी e की पावर माइनस टी है सर, तो एक्स टी की वैल्यू आ जाएगी.
See, when such type of question may be asked when the sinusoidal input is here, whenever the sinusoidal input is provided to find out the response of the system, then you have to adopt the procedure like this. 1 upon s plus 1 may be represented as a 1 upon j omega plus 1, and you know that whenever the input is sinusoidal, then your output must be the sinusoidal. There is change only in the magnitude as well as the phase. Okay, only there is change in the magnitude as well as the phase. So the magnitude of this is, you can write like what will the magnitude? Omega square plus 1. And for this question, the omega is nothing but the 1 for sine t function. Okay, so when you put the magnitude, when you can find the magnitude, and the angle you can find like the tan inverse omega upon 1. Okay, so the magnitude becomes 1 upon root 2, and tan inverse omega 1 upon 1, that is the 45 degree. So it is 1 upon root 2 and 45 with angle 45 degree. So the answer should be the 1 upon root 2 sine, okay, 45 degree. Sorry, sine t plus 45 degree. Sine t plus 45 degree. So this will, because omega is 1, so this is 1 into t plus 45 degree. So answer should be 1 upon root t sine t plus 45 degree. Okay, this question may be asked for the, the thermometer. The very popular question is asked in the Kafna as an example. So it means you have not practiced such type of question from the Kafna also. It shows. Okay. So however, zeta is the damping ratio, right? And damping ratio means the degree of resistance to change the system. What do you mean by the degree of resistance? Let's say we have the crane system. You already have seen the crane system, which is used for the pick and place, okay, at the construction site. So let's say this is the damper. So in this damper, when we apply some force, then it is shifted, okay, either from this place, okay. So this is the displacement. So this displacement is nothing but the degree of resistance. Okay, you can say also the viscous force. So degree of resistance to change in the system output. Okay. So let's say this is the one problem, Cs upon R, the transfer function is given in the form of 4 upon s square plus 2s plus 4. So we have asked to find out the natural frequency as well as the damping ratio. So just represent omega and represent as a standard equation. And the standard equation is omega ns square upon s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. So you can find omega n is equals to 2 and 2 zeta omega n is equals to 2. So zeta omega n becomes 1 and omega n is equals to since 2. So zeta becomes 1 by 2. So generally the zeta will varying from 0 to maximum value of this is 1. Okay, and when you take the 0, it means becomes the critically undamped system. We will see how it becomes the undamped system. So what we have to do, this is the procedure, okay, and the adaptation of this, the problem is same, because zeta and omega n is already found. We have adopted this problem. Okay, now come to the pole of this. How we will find the pole of this system? So you can find the pole of the system with the help of the Siddharacharya method or the quadratic equation s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. So you can find the root of the system. Okay, so s is equals to minus b plus minus root under b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So with the help of this, okay, you can find out these two poles. Okay, minus zeta omega n upon omega n into root under zeta square minus 1. Based on this value, according to the value of zeta, okay, according to the value of zeta, the response, the location of the pole will change. Okay, or it come to the 4 categories. This is given on the page number 169 in the Kafner book. I have taken this from the Kafner. So first case is the overdamped system, when the system has two real distinct spool. Then And overdamped will when will come? It will when it will the value of zeta is greater than 1. Okay, so it is there are two distinct real roots. Okay, so you can say the distinct two real poles, and the location of pole is lying here. Let's say the pole location is minus A and minus B. However, when you say the underdamped system, it means the zeta is in the range of the 0 and 1. Okay, so there are and when you put this value, let's say the value of zeta is equals to, let's say, 0.5. The same problem I have taken, that 2 upon s square plus 2s plus 4, let's say. So 2 upon s square plus 2s plus sorry. So let's say this was the equation, 2 upon s square plus 2s plus 4. I think 4 this one. So obviously omega n is 2, and you have find the zeta value is 0.5. So when you find the root of this equation, so you can find like this: s is equals to minus b is plus minus root under b square minus 4a into c upon 2a. So minus 2 plus minus root under 4 minus 16 is minus 12. So minus 16, okay, upon 2. This is the minus 2 plus minus root under minus 12 upon 2. So this is nothing but the imaginary, the complex pole you get. Okay, so this complex pole is nothing but the representation here. This is the real part, the minus 2 upon 2, minus 2 upon 2 plus minus. Okay, you can write minus 12 divided by 2. So this is the omega value, or you can say the imaginary pole value. Okay, so by like this you can find out. However, when the third case is just zeta is equals to 0, zeta is equals to 0 means you are going to represent the system like, let's say, 1 upon s square plus 1. Okay, or s square, okay, s square plus 1. So it means s is equals to what? The value is plus minus, you can say, j omega 1. Okay, j1. Yes or no? So you can say here, like you can see the pole is lying, or you can say 1 to omega n square, let's say 4. So s square plus 4, let's say. So what is the value? So s square equals to minus 4, that is s is equals to plus minus 2j. Okay, so the 2j means the pole is lying on the imaginary axis. The double pole, or it means the double pole lying in the pair of the poles lying at the imaginary axis. Okay. Now come to critically damped. Critically damped means zeta is equals to exactly 1. Okay. So you can similarly you can find out 4 upon s square plus 2 zeta omega n, that is, let's say, the 2 s plus the value is omega n square is 4. 4 upon s square plus 4 plus 4 4s plus 4. So when you find out the root of this value, s is equals to minus b plus minus root under b square minus 4ac, 4a into c upon 2a. So obviously it will provide you you can see this will cancel the minus 4 divided by the minus 2. So let's say this is the minus 2. Okay, so you have the two real and equal poles, because this is the the quadratic equation. So it means you have the two different value. Okay, so this is the case. So for underdamped, so now the question is, which type of system you want from the system. Either we have the 4 cases: overdamped, second the underdamped, third is the critically damped, or fourth is the undamped. So I'm just writing here. First was the overdamped, second is the underdamped, okay, third is the critically damped, or you can say the undamped, okay, and fourth one is the critically damped. So in this case, zeta is greater than 1. This is the zeta is in the between the 0 and 1, and in the undamped system zeta is equals to 0, how many critically damped zeta is equals to 1. So now you tell me which type of the system is good for the in order to design the contour system.
Under dam.
Why? Why not zeta is equals to 1?
The response slow.
Because if you find out the response of the zeta, and when you see when you find out the response of let's see we have the two different type of, let's say, the system. Let's say we have the undamped system, and in the undamped system we have seen s square plus 1. So when you find out this is the undamped system, are you agree, yes or no? Are you agree this is under damped system or undamped system or critical damped system or the overdamped system? Which type of system this is present?
Under.
Undammed.
Undamped. So when you find the Laplace inverse of the system of this transfer function, it means you will get obviously sin t, and sin t means this is nothing but the like this one, undamped. There is no damping. Okay, when you take the s square plus critically damped means you have the 4s plus 4. Okay, so when you find out the Laplace inverse of the system, then what you will get? The response of the system, this is a critically damped, you will get like this one. Okay, and for the under damped system you will get like the response of the system. So which one is the best system?
Under dam.
Critically damped.
He बोल रहा under damped. Huh?
Critically damped.
Who tells the under damped? under damped पे कौन एग्री है? बोलो भाई, नाम तो बताओ. अभिषेक,
सर.
तुमने बोला ना अंडर डैम?
हाँ सर, गलती से बोल दिया.
नहीं, गलती से नहीं बोला,
Critically
तुमने
damped
सोच
होगा.
समझ के बोला. Why you are saying under dam? Your answer is correct, but you are not able to give the explanation.
Because of the stable response.
सब रटा रटाया है ना? पढ़ा था बीटेक में तो बता रहा है कि नहीं? पता नहीं इसके पीछे का लॉजिक क्या है. या सुनो, हाँ? See, when you going to design the instrument, let's say the potentiometer or some type of this where the damping factor and this balancing going to balance, okay, and this will remains at the position, this one, let's say, okay, of the potentiometer or any dial. So in this case, when you it is true your system should be response like the critically damped, but in order to design the system, control system, when you are going to set the value zeta 1, okay, there is a chances to become the response, you can say the zeta, because this value exactly you have to go to set the value 1. So there is no possibility you can consider you are unable to set this value at 1 in exact way, because this is a mechanical system, and the mechanical system there is a lot of the problem, or you can say the what you can say assumption. Okay, so in that assumption, when you are going to set this value, mechanically it becomes greater than 1, and if it is become greater than 1, then the system response looking like the overdamped, and it is nothing but this is undesired value. So what we are going to set, we are just putting the value in between the 0 and 1, and we are then we are increasing the value zeta as per the need of the desired value or the system. समझ में आया बात? Yes or no? So
Yes, sir.
so there are different, so that's why we are generally we are focusing on the under dam system. However, we need the critical dam system, but it's not possible to design the critical dam system in mechanically. Okay, in practical way you can say. In practical way, there's not possible. That's why we are studying the under dam system. So for value, it means the under dam system is obviously the zeta should be in between the range 0 to 1. Okay, and omega should be the 0. So for such type of system, we have the different timing characteristic or control characteristic. This characteristic is nothing but the delay time, rise time, peak time, maximum overshoot and settling time. Rise time, settling time, peak time, maximum overshoot, and minimum overshoot, undershoot, okay, settling time. So what is the delay time? This delay time is nothing but the 50% time to reach at the 50% of the maximum value. That is the one or a steady state value. When you take the rise time means time to reach the steady state value. Time to reach the maximum steady state value first. Okay, तो ये आपका ये हो गया. What is the peak value? Peak value means this. You already you know, है ना? You already haven't gone through this value. And settling time is it settles. The response of the system settles or started settling in between the 5% or the, I think 3% or the 5%. If I'm not wrong, I have to just check either I'm right or wrong. 3% or 5% in the tolerance band. So I think 2% is there or 3%. I didn't remember the exact value.
2 to 5%, sir.
2 to 5%. Okay, thank you. So what is the tolerance? What is the tolerance value? But tolerance value means if let's say this is a 1. So 1 means if you take a 2%, so 1.2 and 0.98. So if your response is lying in between the 0.98 and 1, it means it is settled. It means settled. Okay, because there is a chances, because it is not possible generally it track the same exact the set point or the 1. It varying from this to this like this one, and therefore this is we can say that this is settled in the in the tolerance band of 2%. In similar way, you can say the 5% of the 0.95 to 1.5. Okay, so the delay time is already defined here. This is the definition. Okay, the half of the final value of the very first time. Rise time is also given. Okay, 10% to 90%, 5 to 90%, or 0 to 100% the final value. For under damped system 0 to 100% rise time is normally used. For over damped system, it is given to define for the 10 to 90%. Okay. Peak time is already given. The peak time is the time required for the response to reach the first peak of the overshoot. This is the overshoot, and this is the undershoot. So first undershoot is this one. First overshoot is this one. So let's say this is the response of the system. So this is the first overshoot. This is the third overshoot. Yes or no? Please respond. This is the first overshoot. This is the third overshoot. This is the second undershoot. Yes or no?
Yes, yes,
Yes, sir.
No. This is the first overshoot. This is the first undershoot. This is the second overshoot. This is the second overshoot. Second overshoot. This is the first undershoot. Remember, undershoot. This is the third overshoot. This is the second undershoot. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Undershoot. So the maximum peak overshoot can you find with the help of this formula? Okay. settling time is already given as 2, you are right, 2% or 5%. Okay, so the tolerance range is already given, and in this range when the steady state value is lying, then you can say that you have find the settled value. Okay, so the step response you can find already, Anna. So this is the transfer function, and the step response means you have to supply the input Rs is equals to 1 upon S. Rs is equals to 1 upon S, so just given, take the partial fraction. With the help of the partial fraction, I'm not going to the details of this because you have already done. So you already done through in the BTech process. Okay, I'm just taking the final response. CT is equals to 1 minus e to the power minus zeta omega n2 upon cos omega dt plus this value. So okay, so omega d we have defined like omega n into root under 1 minus. It is very, very important. This omega d is nothing but the damped frequency. Okay, so omega d is nothing but the omega n root under 1 minus zeta square. This is very, very important. And when this zeta is equals to 0 at 100%, it becomes the natural frequency is omega n. Okay, so in this case, Ct becomes 1 upon cos omega nt when just to put this value, zeta is equals to 0. Then it cancel with this term will remain same because zeta is equals to 0. This means it will 1. So 1 minus cos omega dt, and omega dt in this value, this zeta is equals to 0, so it means omega n. So Ct is equals to nothing but the what? Omega 1 minus, yes, cos omega nt. Yes or no? अरे हाँ या ना तो बोलो, समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है?
हाँ सर.
So this is the response of the system. Okay, so you can see here if zeta is equals to value 0.1 and omega n is equals to 3, does this you can just simulate on the the MATLAB. Yes or no? You can just draw on the MATLAB such type of the system. Okay, so when the zeta is equals to 0.5, omega n equals to 3, thus you can see the system response like this one. Okay, so what happened? When the value of zeta is increasing from 0.1 to 0.5, the response is again you can say the critically. Okay, when you can say the zeta is equals to 0.9, you can say omega n equals to 3, you can see the response is shifting towards the critically damped. It means under damped system is shifting to the critically damped. Critically damped when you increase the zeta value 0.1 to 0.9. Okay, I'm not going to details of this stability because this is not in the course. Okay, the most important part of your syllabus is the industrial controller, and hope this portion is already going into your practical classes. Yes or no?
हाँ सर.
Huh? Sorry?
So in the lab,
Yes, in the lab.
we have done that single tank liquid level system
PID controller.
with proportional and PI controller.
Yes, that is the PI controller. So question is why we are going to use the PID controller, PI controller, or what are the different controller in the industries. So introduction, this is the section introduction to the industrial controller. Okay. So we will start this topic from the next class. Okay.